it's going in order. Fuck, it went in order today. I'm impressed. I am extremely impressed. So, all right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to the 4th episode of the Sentence to Greatness podcast. You got your hosts, Isaac and Marcel, and today our guest is none other than Mike LaCombe, aka Swollen Pitbull. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, guys?
Well, hey, thanks for coming on. We're excited to have you on. We both known you for a while, but we want to dig a little bit deeper and find out some stuff about you, and hopefully we can find out some stuff about your businesses, because you're a successful business owner, successful coach. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that will benefit from all that. So let's get right to it. To start off, man, actually, before we got on, Isaac was telling me, he's like, hey, we got to ask him where he got his name from. Because I don't even know where you got your name from. Where did Swollen Pitbull come from, man?
Well, the swollen part was never really part of the nickname until bodybuilding came along, and so did IG. The Pitbull nickname kind of came around when I was a younger kid. I used to get in a lot of scraps, and I had a particular fighting style, very indicative of a Pitbull, I guess, apparently. So, because a lot of people call me that, so it kind of just stuck because it wasn't just in those little scraps in the streets, shit like that. It was the way I played ball. I was a hard-nosed baseball player, was never the biggest dude on the team. Story of my life, was never the biggest guy, but I was always the toughest son of a bitch. Hard-nosed baseball player, hard-nosed basketball player, hard-nosed football player, whatever I was doing, I did it, to my fullest potential. It's just the way I was wired up. You guys know that from me, knowing you personally. So just, I think how it stuck, you know what I mean? Along the years, it never went away.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I thought it totally came from just your bodybuilding, and then obviously your love for Pitbulls.
It kind of does touch on the Pitbull thing, I think, more now, because before Instagram and Facebook, I had that nickname before all that. So it was like the Pitbulls, when everybody started to see that was part of me, it kind of just fit the nickname. You know what I mean? So now I would definitely say that it has some influence and some preset to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that's totally spot on. So let's go to before your bodybuilding career, because we all know that you were a bodybuilder. Yep. Growing up in high school, were you always an athlete? Throughout your entire life?
Yes, I was always in sports, baseball in particular. But I played everything growing up, and then you get to a certain age, Isaac, you might know this from playing, college ball and stuff. Like, you got to kind of, if you ain't some outstanding athlete, you got to kind of pick one and focus on it, and I was the best at baseball. That was my, bread and butter. So I just focused and put all my eggs in that basket, and, I ended up doing pretty good for myself. So.
Yep.
Did you play ball outside of high school?
I did. I played college baseball. I did really well in ball. I always, wanted to go pro. Obviously, that's everybody's fucking end all be all goal. And then, when that didn't happen, I had to fill that void, that competition void, with something. And that's why bodybuilding came along and just kind of fit in perfectly. I was obsessed with the constant regiment, it just filled that competition void. And I had all control. You know what I mean? One thing that I like about bodybuilding is you're in control. You know what I mean? You control everything. In a team sport, there's multiple variables. So, not just ones you can control.
What age did it hit you when you were okay, I'm not going to be a pro baseball player anymore? What am I going to do now? Because I went through that shit, and it's fucking, you get through that time and you're just you're fuck.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I went through it where, I was depressed from it. I was really resentful towards baseball. I didn't want. It was probably I would have to say, my senior year, when those offers just weren't coming the way I thought they were going to come. You kind of accept things and kind of figure all right, well, what else am I good at? What else interests me? And at that point, nothing seems to even be comparable at that baseball was fucking everything. I'm like, well, what am I going to do? The only reason why I tried as hard as I did in school and was, honorable in school, shit like that in grades was baseball. You know what I mean? I was always my premise for everything. It's all I cared about. So, I would say probably, however old you are, your junior, senior year, 22-ish, 23, I went and played in Canada in an awesome league. I did really well, but there was guys getting drafted out of that league that I might have had better numbers then, but they were getting picked up. They might have been a little bit younger or whatever that variable was. But, I still love the sport no matter what. Yeah. And it's, Isaac, it teaches you a lot, just like bodybuilding does.
Yeah. Yep. One of those things that just doesn't leave you.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you pick up going into the weight room, lifting weights and bodybuilding? Because, I know like baseball is almost different, so much different from bodybuilding. Like, where did that come from? Did you just randomly go work out to stay healthy, or was it like I like lifting weights? Where did that all come about?
I was a huge bodybuilding fan from when I was like 10, 12 years old, actually. I used to make my mom give me Flex magazines and shit like that. And, I was obsessed with it. They looked like action figures and shit. So, of course I wanted to look like that. And I begged my mom when I was like 12 years old or 11 or 12 years old. And I got my first weight set. Had it in my room, bumping out to like fucking Eminem and Tupac and shit. And I'm this white kid that's living in the suburbs at the time, so we moved out of the city. But I was still like like this like little thug wannabe and just trying to get full and shit, And as the years went by, in grade school and in high school, I was always like getting awards for like the strongest boy or whatever. I was always doing these competitions, and actually in high school, I picked up pretty heavily powerlifting, and it's funny because like I played baseball. I was a junior when I was really getting heavy into the powerlifting, and we were doing this meet, and I'm just fucking cleaning the house, dude. And one of the dads comes over to me, and he's like, "Man, dude, you're really strong. Your lifts are really impressive." He's like, "What position do you play?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a catcher." He's like, "The fuck?" I'm thinking I'm going to say a football position. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm actually a baseball player." And he's like, "No fucking shit," So it was funny because, like, as I transitioned out of high school into college, then I was still that guy in the baseball team with, like, the muscles. So, like, oh, he's big as hell. My coaches be like, "Home, you're not a fucking you're a baseball player. You're not a bodybuilder. Stop doing fucking bench press." I'm constantly bitching at me in college. And, I think it's just – I was a bodybuilder from the start. You know what I mean? When I was I got pictures when I'm 6, 7 years old. I look like a little giddy and I'm fucking flexing. And, I had no idea what the hell I was doing, but it was always that, in the back of my subconscious, I think that I just liked that intensity. I was always an intense kid.
Yeah.
It's like the way we train doesn't correspond with baseball stuff. Like, no. I know, like, I just heard you say, put the bench press down. It was like, I couldn't lift heavy like that because I wouldn't be able to throw the ball correctly. I couldn't swing right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it was rough, man. I didn't like that because it just took that training aspect out of it. You had to do more functional training for baseball.
Right.
Yeah.
And we just didn't know any better back. At least I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because it's just such a different spectrum. Because I know a lot of like football guys, they'll go into bodybuilding or powerlifting because the weight room is obviously such a big part of those sports. But both you and Isaac come from a baseball background, which I thought was pretty cool. But so after you start training, when did the thought of a first show come around? And how did that come about? Did somebody bring it up to you that you should be competing, or did you just were like, I'm doing this, so I might as well just fucking go for it and compete?
Yeah. He had a fucking natural 10-pack.
Yeah.
I might as well buy
people all the time in the gym. Oh, you should compete. And I never really thought about it then. You know what I mean? Never really thought it was like a real thing, I guess, if you will. And then I started dating this girl, and her and her sister were into it. They were twins, and they're like telling me, "Oh, you should compete. I think you'd be good." Introduced me to a few people that they knew that competed, and obviously they relayed the same message. So I was like, "Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna see. I'm kind of good at everything I do at this point because I try. I apply myself. I want to step out of my shell a little bit, and I ended up fucking doing really well and falling in love with it. And like Isaac said, I basically on stage looked like a wet bird with fucking 10-pack.
Well, speaking of it, here's your 10-pack. He wasn't fucking wrong. So
I put on a little bit of weight, but when I was natural, imagine that, but with abs and the
just
skin.
right.
You got a picture of that up there somewhere?
Yeah, pictures up there. Like with a kid with spiky hair and abs.
Yeah, let's see if I can find that. It'll take me a second here, but oh, there's some. Right, is this it? Hold on, let me pull this one up. I think that's close. I don't think it's quite the beginning, but I feel like that's pretty close. Let's see, share.
That was actually my first NPC show.
Okay, so that was your first NPC show. Gotcha.
11.
Yeah, that's a big difference there. Still good. Yeah. Look at the difference in your legs, though. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So after your first show, did you immediately know that, like, all right, I want to be a pro bodybuilder at that point? Like, that was your end all be all, or?
Not at all. Not at all, dude. At that point, I still had no clue what the hell I was even doing in bodybuilding. I was like, cool, I won this show. I have a bunch of these cool trophies, but I still felt like almost like this void from baseball. You know, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I still was teetering at the fact, hey, do I, go try out? I still was sharp in my skills. I could probably have made, independent team or something like that. But at the same time, I got expensive taste, man, as you guys know. So I started to desire money. You know what I mean? I wanted to make a living for myself. And so I just kind of dove in more so to the personal training aspect. And I think, I'm pretty sure that's what brought me back full circle into bodybuilding, was being so much into that fitness industry and, chasing that fucking bag, and just, wanting that money so bad that bodybuilding just seemed to make sense because it was regimented. You know what I mean? I was working crazy hours. I'd get at the gym and I'd train people from 6 a.m. to whenever the fuck I could fill my schedule. I was just hungry at that time. You know what I mean? And I'm glad for that because that built me a super solid foundation to step away from that corporate and work for myself, later down the road. And I didn't even know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So to those of you guys who don't know, right now, Mike, he owns obviously his own coaching company, or your coaching business, whatever you want to call it, personal training, prep coaching. And it's very highly successful, So with that being said, did the business come about before your desire to turn pro, or was it the other way around?
Definitely the other way around. I probably, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, I didn't have the desire to go pro or even the inclination I probably could until 2015. I played 5th in the light heavy class as my first year as a light heavy at nationals. And I just remember that year the lights went out. They rejudged light heavy class. It was like crazy. It was like 40 something dudes in the class or something. It was insane. But that's when I was like, well, damn, I'm actually pretty good.
Maybe I could do this. Yeah.
I can do this. Like, I remember being at check-ins there and again, just being like super like shadowed and be like, damn, these dudes are huge, man. Like, what the fuck? I remember seeing Nick Medici, who won that class that year, doing a side chest for the pictures when we were during at weigh-ins. And I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at him. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to stand next to these dudes, And I did really well. You know what I mean? I didn't really know how to pose as well as I should have at that time, or maybe I would have done better. But that's when it really was like, bling, I could do this. I could probably make up for not fucking going pro and ball and doing it in bodybuilding.
Yeah, no shit, right?
All right. So, how did your business come about? Your first business, your coaching business. Where did that start? Obviously, you said you were a personal trainer at some kind of a box gym, and that's how your coaching journey started. But how did that Fitpit come about?
Fitpit basically started off, honestly, it was not a competition prep company. I was purely PT. I had worked at a few different commercial gyms, as I stated. And after having kind of like a rough falling out with one of the gyms that I was at a high position for, I kind of fell flat on my face, and it left me between, a rock and a hard place. I had just bought my own apartment, just bought a new truck, thinking I was, 3-4 months in making the big bucks, and boom, all of a sudden that wasn't happening anymore. So long story short, I decided, hey, you know what? It's time for you to not have anybody have you by the nuts, basically, and your vulnerability is going to be up to you. And I started working for myself, and you know, and it forced me to not to be able to look back, because I was like, hey, dude, you ain't gonna pay your fucking bills unless you're grinding. So, and then it just gets addicting as fuck. You know what I mean? As you guys know, you just start being like, damn, I didn't know I could do that. Let me see what else I can do. You know what I'm saying? You know, oh, this you can make money this way. This is all you got to do. You just got to try. You got to apply yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's out there. So once you get that, it's like a drug, man. You know what I mean? A good one.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because I clearly remember, you know, when I was getting into coaching. Well, I was actually already coaching for a little bit, but I was kind of really down low about it. I was coaching people that reached out to me. I never really promoted it. And I remember very vividly, it's when you flew down for one of my shows in Arizona, and I was showing you, like, you saw me looking at my phone at one of my, you know, checking clients. He's like, oh, that person looks good. It was like, and I was like, yeah, I know, I'm coaching them. And you're like, what the fuck? Why aren't you sharing this? Why aren't you monetizing this? Why aren't you, you know, doing this for a living, you know? And I was like, well, I don't know. I didn't want to be that guy, you know? And it's funny that you say that, because I remember you were the one that was like, bro, stop worrying about what people are thinking about this. Just do you. And, you know, couple of years later, you know, it's still going. So, and it's going well. So yeah. It's funny that you say that, because a lot of people I think are scared of taking that, you know, that leap of, you know, whatever, who cares what people think? Who cares? You know, if I'm good at this, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go both feet in. So right. Yeah, it's pretty cool that you mentioned that, because, you know, that first step can be fucking scary in more than one way. So
yeah. You know, and imagine not having anybody to guide you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have anybody. Yeah. I was just going right. Beat of the watch, man. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. You know what I mean? In the mindset, in the aspect, obviously I knew what I was doing with my clients, but I didn't know what I was doing building a business. Who does? Yeah. You know what I mean? Unless you're found in like your dad's footsteps and he's teaching you or something. No one really knows. You just go along, learn along the way. You know what I mean? Pay attention to detail, learn from your failures, and you know, that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And how long ago was that when you started FitPit?
FitPit, I LLC'd, I want to say in 2014.
2014. Is that when you already had your gym, or did you not have your gym yet?
I was actually in a small little apartment, still fucking running around the city with my head cut off, training people at high rises and all kinds of crazy shit, which I look back now, dude, and I like getting an anxiety attack thinking about it. Like, it's just the traffic, the fucking parking. It was a cluster. You know what I mean? Compared to my life now. You guys,
yeah, I know.
Traffic. It was like that every day, bro.
Dude, I know, because I lived in LA, man. When I lived in LA, I was like fucking, you know, anxiety central every day. You know, but so after you start your business, when did you make the move out to get your own gym, get your own house? How long did that process take?
Well, let's see. 2014, I think I was still in my apartment. See, what I did is I got a building for my grandparents. It was a 3-flat building. It's totally fucking screwed up. Needed to be completely torn and remodeled and everything. And it's been in my family for some time. I lived in it when I was a kid, actually, when it was much nicer. But my grandpa wanted to sell it, get rid of it, put it, you know, just be done with it. I said, no, let me do it. You know, my dad's a general contractor. I think I'll fix it up, you know, and then I'll rent it out and make some money, you know, off of it. So I bought it from him for a small price tag or whatever. And I'm very grateful for it, because, you know, it allowed me to do several different things. It allowed me to fix it up for one. I put 2 of the units, I rented them out, made a base income each month. And it kind of like gave me some groundwork, not having an actual income per se, like I used to, you know what I mean? When I was working for a commercial box gym and you're depending on a paycheck, not your actual hustle. So then after that, I said, I fixed up the, you know, 1 unit on the top, and I actually moved in myself to save some money with rent, because I was renting at the time while owning that building. I was renting an old park. And when I did that, it allowed me to save and just start investing some money into my business. And that's when I got legit, you know, I LLC 2014. And then it was a goal of mine to have a house before I was 30. So at the time, I was looking pretty heavily into a house that I could put a gym into, because I found just over the years, I said, you know, the money's in PT. I don't want to own a gym off the bat. I have a heavy clientele. I think I can do really well with just the PT aspect. And then from 2014 to 2016, all I did was focus on that business, grind it out day in, day out, and more so focused on the business than bodybuilding, honestly. I still bodybuild, you know, took it very serious, but not as serious as I do now, obviously. And then 2016, the end of it, 3 days before my 30th birthday, I bought my house here. And you guys have seen the gym, how it's transpired from like a scene out of fucking Saw with like oil stains and all kinds of shit all over the floor. This living in here before me to now, you know, a fully fledged gym that's fucking inspiring people all over the damn nation for garage gyms, I think.
It is, man. The pit is where it's at.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. The inspiration for gyms definitely, like, because obviously that's where I got my inspiration for, you know, from seeing Mike's gym, being in Mike's gym, training there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you kind of sit there and you're like, man, fuck going to a gym, man.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Own shit, you know.
Build your life with
right.
Yeah. Build it the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely what inspired me as well.
Just being able to step out your own house, out of your door, and like, okay, I'm ready to train whenever the fuck I want to, you know.
Yeah,
it's a privilege to have shit like that, you know, and it's just, it's nice. It's the comfort of it is just, you know, something else, man. So
unmatched.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you get you have your own environment per se, and it's like you set it up the way you want it to be, and there's nobody else, you know, that can fucking get in your way, you know, get in the way of your goals. Right. Here's what the pit looks like now. How long did it take for you to build all that up to the way it is now?
I mean, honestly, dude, like I haven't really stopped. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you just keep going. You know, I'm at the point now where I'm fully, like, I'm filled up. I even have more shit in my gym right now than this video shows.
Right. Video.
Like, completely, my car is not in there anymore. I actually have my Trackhawk in storage, and then you know, the gym is a full on fledged gym now. So you know, I'm constantly changing shit. Now it's like I just recently bought like this little rig. Actually, Isaac introduced me to the company. It's a welding company. They made this custom rig that includes cables, a Smith machine, a power rack, and fucking it's gonna have a lat pull down in it. So now I'm switching out my lat pull down station that I used from my Smith machine and then my regular cables, and I'm swapping it out with that. So it's like a mechanic's toolbox. You know, you have your set tools, and as you become a better and more skilled mechanic, you start swapping shit out for better shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the best analogy you can go with there.
Yeah, you're fine tuning your toolbox there to have all the perfect tools that you need to do your job right.
You went from Craftsman to fucking Mac Tools.
Exactly.
Craftsman to Mac Tools. So, you know, you got your business going. Obviously, you know, what do you think was the most crucial part of making the business successful? Because anybody can start a business, anybody can get an LLC, you know, anybody can do that. Anybody can put in their Instagram bio that they're a business owner or whatnot. But what do you think was, you know, the most crucial part that made your business successful? You know, because anybody can have a business,
right.
But what made it successful? What is making that business your main source of income?
I would say, honestly, it's just consistency. And to touch on something you said earlier, because I say it to you, I've said it to Isaac, I've said it to every entrepreneur starting out, who gives a fuck what people think? Saturate your Instagram. Because guess what? It's the people that have a problem with that, they're not going to be customers anyways. Unless 2 years down the road, they start to see the validity of the product, and you'll be amazed, take it from me, who buys from you. You'll be like, wow, Maybe they finally came around and started to see this shit's legit. I'm legit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would say consistency, and then not caring what people think about your idea, whatever your vision. Just keep on going with it and don't look back. You know what I mean? Be confident in your failures, be confident in your successions, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. So on a typical day of running your business, what does a typical day look like for you now? Obviously before you started, your second business, because we'll get into that. So on a typical day, like what does your day look like now, as a Fitbit business owner?
Typical day now is actually much different than it used to be because of the second business. But I don't train near as many clients anymore. I have my schedule open from 8 a.m. to about 1 o'clock. And then, the rest of the time I take a few hours to train myself. Bodybuilding as a pro is obviously something I take serious, something that I want to upkeep, and it's a job as well. You guys know that amateur bodybuilding, I mean, the bodybuilding period is a job if you're doing it right. And then, I got Enspire Brand, so I have to really, section off my day in order not to lose my fucking mind and for those businesses to continue to be successful. So, I'm training for the beginning of the day, and training myself middle of the day, and then Enspire Brands the second half of the day.
Yeah. It's crazy watching how like things have like kind of transformed for you the last year or two, because you were such a high volume trainer at home. I remember you used to have like fucking 6 a.m. opened up all the way to like 1 p.m.
I was
sometimes 2,
4 a.m. sometimes, bro.
Yeah, I remember I used to be there training at like 5 every Wednesday. It's crazy. So it's crazy to see you now have a couple clients, and now you're focusing more on the new business.
Right.
That's cool, man. It's good. It's good to see.
It's kind of like the training tapered down. And mostly because my schedule tapered down. Like I still have tons of inquiries. And for people, if you're out there and you've inquired about training, I'm not being a dickhead and avoiding you. It's just that I'm filled up right now, and I don't want to give you an answer that you don't want to hear. So as soon as I have availability, keep checking the website. There's availability. You know what I mean? I have online training. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of gone up as the training's calmed down. So the business has stayed fairly the same, if not busier, just different way, different aspect.
It's crazy because I don't think people see how the personal training, when you're doing it regularly, how much time that takes up of your own personal time, And it's you start to value that time more, and you're like, I got to start doing some other shit now because this is taking up too much time.
Yeah, and dude, clients that are the ones that are fucking, you're training them, and it's like,
oh my god,
training session the whole time. You're like, fuck, I don't want to do this with my time,
bro.
I can build my business and turn this whatever amount I'm making per hour into something much better, and I'm going to enjoy myself.
Exactly.
I don't want to train you unless you want to be there. So now it's like the guys I train now, I fucking love training them. You know what I mean? Because I can at them. They want to fucking be there. They come to work. It isn't like, oh, my fucking rich husband paid for this, and this stuff. He just doesn't want to fucking look at me naked anymore. Whatever the story might be, but it's just somebody that wants to fucking be there. I want to give 100% to you because you're giving 100% to me. It's reciprocation makes the world go round. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's so crazy that you say that because, I think Isaac has seen me just fucking get trashed by tons of clients that I didn't want to train on top of my own regular prep. It's just people don't realize how much energy we put into those training sessions. And then that takes so much energy out of our own training sessions, and it takes a toll on our own training, our own schedule, our own meals. And dude, it's the wrong clients can be a nightmare.
Absolutely. And the wrong people.
Oh God.
Every interaction you have with somebody, bro, is an energy transfer. So if you're having bad energy around you, what the fuck you think you're going to carry? You know what I'm saying? I didn't really understand that, until I got some people out of my life that were bad energy, and it kind of just opened the forefront of a lot of things. You know what I mean? I'm fortunate to have somebody in my life now who's very good energy a lot of the fucking time, pretty much all the time. And it rubs off on you. It's a pure example of you're gonna exude what's inside, period. If it's confidence, you're gonna exude it. If it's stress, you're gonna exude it. If it's positivity, you're gonna fucking exude it. And I guarantee you people are gonna want to be around it because the shit's addicting.
Yeah.
You know?
Touch up on that real quick. So I remember like 2019, man, like that was a year that was like, I don't know, it was weird because you were at the time trying to have a kid and all this stuff. And I remember, man, like watching you, like, you know, come onto your TRT dose and everything. And like, I'm like, man, it's just weird seeing Mike look like this, like, regular human.
It wasn't Mike. It wasn't Mike.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Mike. Not from the guy I've seen for so many years now. And it's like, I remember at my wife's show, the only show in 2019 in Mesa. And I remember just looking at each other and like, man, Mike don't look the same no more right now, you know? And you were kind of going through some shit.
It didn't feel the same no more too. It was
no.
It was like a shell of the Mike that we used to know. It was
right. So like touch up on that time for us, man, like what you were going through the end of 2019 going into 2020, because that was a tough year. You know, it was a year that you transitioned to like some crazy shit, but you made the most of going into 2020. And I think that's a story that a lot of people need to hear because it's very inspirational and motivational.
Yeah, man. Obviously, you know, my closest people to me know, you know, what went on, and you know, a lot of people go through it, whatever. You know, I was married and didn't work out. Got divorced. You know, so that's a strike to the ribs, regardless of how it happened. You know, it sucks just to fail at something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, it's not something you have in your cards and you know how to come up from. You know what I mean? It's something you got to kind of piece together and figure out what's going on. So it's like my whole life got, you know, flipped upside down. And, you know, I'm not here to badmouth anybody, but, you know, I put a lot of effort into, you know, into that, just like I do everything. And when that didn't work, it was kind of like, you know, a blow to my confidence when it came to effort. You know, it's like I always thought if you put effort into something, good would come, you know, and sometimes in life, when it's a variable you can't control, it doesn't always work out that way. So, you know, it kind of had to get back to what grounded me, you know, and that was bodybuilding, and had to remember who the fuck I was, you know what I mean? And in a positive chip on my shoulder, show everybody else that I'm still the same guy. So what I did was I put my head down, and I set a goal, and I wasn't going to stop until I got there. And I just made that, you know, had that meeting with myself in the fucking mirror, and that was it. You know, I didn't look back. And I took all that negative energy that I felt in my chest, man. I exuded it, and when it came out, it was positivity, and you know, and then I came out to visit you guys as I'm starting to get up to the top of that hill, starting to see the light at the end of the tunnels, training for North Americans at the time. And we went on our little ATV excavation, and it didn't go too well for me, guys. As you know, I got into a terrible accident. And I've been riding quads since I've been 3 fucking years old. So, I mean, I have 2 of myself that are very, very fast and quick and stuff. And these ones we were riding were not something you get hurt on, but freak accident, faulty equipment. Long story short, almost lost my fucking life that day with you guys. You know, you were the last 2 people to see me that day. And it still trips me out to this day to think about it, you know, because I remember going into that day saying like, man, this is fucking really cool. I'm out here with 2 of my favorite people. We're doing fucking cool shit, doing fucking bro shit, we're shooting guns.
Shooting guns.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun ass day.
Smoking a J in between. That was my plate of fun for sure. You know, and when that happened, it was just kind of like I'm sitting in a hospital bed after the doctor's telling me, you know, you're gonna have to have at least, you know, 1 emergency surgery in the next 20 minutes to stop this internal bleeding. I fucking was like, do I throw in a towel? Like, what the fuck? Like, why is this happening to me? You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? I was waiting to like wake up from being knocked out on that hill, on that mountain, I should say. And that was exactly 5 months from the day that I went pro over there in nationals. So, It's
Bro, that's so fucking crazy to even think about when we put it on a timeline.
I didn't think it was a timeline that small of a timeline until I actually put in the dates. I actually thought it was 7 months. I actually did an interview in a workout. I was depleted as shit with Jeff Seidel, and I'm like, 7 months, and I'm back. And it's actually 5 months.
Jesus,
the doctor told me I wouldn't be doing anything for 4 to 6 months, like anything at all. Like I wouldn't be working out, nothing. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. That wasn't happening. But if I'm being totally honest, dude, that 3 to 4 weeks after that, when I got home from Arizona from that fucking God forbidden hospital, that was the worst, most depressing 3 weeks of my life. I was angry. I was sad. And everything that I took here and just bottled down from that fucking divorce and, shit I had gone through, mental battles and shit, it just fucking all came out, man.
Came out again?
Like a fucking erupting volcano. So, it took some serious grabbing of my nutsack, my swollen nutsack, because it was fucked up from that accident.
It was fucked up.
Oh, man, it was bad.
We saw pictures.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll pull up a picture in a second. I'm looking for one.
Before you scare everybody off the podcast, but there's fruits, purple ones for quite some time there. So I grabbed them and I told myself, you know what, dude, this isn't going to stop you. You can fucking do anything that you put your head to. You're still alive. You're still breathing. You're still good looking. Let's do this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do this. So 5 months later, we did it.
It's funny.
Not to cut you off, but it's just I want people to realize, like, the day you got hurt, I had motherfuckers contacting me out the fucking woodworks I never talked to, hitting me up like, "How's Mike doing?" There was the people that were so fucking concerned was ridiculous, And it's good to see you had that support group and people that cared because, like I said, people came out the woodworks hitting me up, like found my number, Instagram me, DM me. I was like, what the fuck? Like this motherfucker right here, he's got everybody. Even your mom called me. Yeah, your mom called me. We talked.
Yeah, man.
That was a tough phone call. I'm not gonna lie.
Fucking works for the CIA if it has something to do with me.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I remember actually after we dropped you off at the hospital. Isaac went home because that was during COVID, so nobody could go into the hospital with Mike. Like we literally we kicked this dude out at the fucking door of the emergency room. See you later, bro.
Fucking dying. He's crawling and dying. We're like, oh, shit.
And these motherfuckers are like, nobody can come in with him, so nobody really knows what the fuck is going on with this dude, So we're just kind of sitting on fucking eggshells, waiting to find out like what is going on with Mike. And I remember Isaac calling me, and Mike disappeared there for a second. Can you see him?
I can see him. I can see Mike.
Oh, you can see Mike? Okay, we're all good then. And I remember, you calling me and being like, hey, he's going into an emergency surgery. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, emergency surgery? Like, this dude was just talking to me in the passenger seat of my car. Like, he was in pain, and we had to almost convince him to. He's like, hey, let's just take you to the hospital. And I remember Mike was like, oh, I don't know, think I'll be all right, but I'm feeling some pressure in my groin area. We're like,
thank God I went. You guys literally.
We're like, no, dude, we're gonna drop you off at this hospital. You took a pretty nasty beating over here, and it was just crazy to think that we go from that to you pretty much fighting for your life in the hospital to then like a week later, I was talking to Isaac, and Isaac goes to me, he's like, yeah, Mike's telling me he's still gonna do the show. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean this? I'm like, this motherfucker is gonna do the show. He can't squat. He can barely sit in his toilet.
Couldn't even walk, right?
Out of my bed.
Yeah. Remember, we had to wheelchair you over to the fucking airport when you left.
Yeah. Wheeled me through the whole fucking airport, bro. Yep.
And I remember saying to Isaac, I was like, dude, that motherfucker needs to not worry about a bodybuilding show right now. He needs to worry about making sure that he's all right in there, So I think that the mindset that you had the entire time was just kind of like, you just manifested it right away. You're like, yeah, fuck that. I'm still getting that pro card.
Isn't that Pitbull mentality though? That's where that shit came from. That's it.
I always had that, but it was like, this hit different. I was mad, bro. I was mad as fuck. I was like, fuck this shit. Like, hell no, you ain't gonna keep me down. Like, I was mad as fuck. Like, the only way I'm not gonna do what I want to do is if I'm fucking dead. That was it. And that was like literally, it wasn't about being sad. It wasn't about like, poor me. It was just like, fuck you, universe, for doing this. I'm gonna show you. And
Hey,
that's what it was. Oh
yeah. Excuse the shameless Enspire Brand plug, which, you know, but yeah, this is what his abdominal and groin area looked like. Was that after his surgery or?
No, that was probably about fucking almost 2 weeks after, dude.
Oh, oh fuck! 2 weeks after surgery.
I didn't even get out of bed for 2 weeks, bro. Like, seriously, I had to, like, I couldn't piss because I had a huge fucking like hematoma like pushing against my bladder. So it felt like I had to piss 24/7, but then I go to piss, I felt like I was fucking dropping razor blades out of my prick. It was terrible.
Oh,
you know,
God.
so that actually looks pretty good. And honestly, you see my belly button?
Yeah,
dude, it was so swollen. My stomach was so swollen. I never had an outie in my life or whatever. And
oh yeah, I see that. Yeah,
out, and it was like black and blue. It was all fucked up, dude. I don't know, man. My porn career was fucking done.
Yeah,
yeah. No, and we fast forward 5 months. Here's the fucking nutty part. 5 months later, was at nationals, and we go home and we you go over there and you clean up and you win your pro card. What does that feel like at that moment? You know what I mean? Like what? Because I feel like it's such a big it was a big pinnacle for you in the first place, right? Like that was something that you were looking forward to in the first place. But after all that shit, to win it, in a pretty dominant fashion, you there was nobody there in your class. It wasn't a question that was yours. How did that feel like? What does that gotta feel like?
It felt like, honestly, like it was supposed to happen. Like it already happened. I don't know how to explain it to you guys, man, but like, I just fucking seen it happening before it happened. Like I knew it was gonna fucking happen. I don't know if I was fucking too high on just the situation or what, but I told my girlfriend, I said, we actually booked a trip to Tulum that Friday night. And 2 weeks leading up to that, she's like, do you want me to book it? I'm like, I don't know. What if I don't win? I want to continue on to the next show, whatever. And I ain't going to be able to go to fucking Tulum for my birthday trip if, I didn't win.
Right.
Friday came around and I looked over at her and I go, book that shit. I'm gonna win it. I got out of the shower and I do my best thinking in the shower. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I feel like complex or whatever and I can't gather my thoughts, I sit in the fucking shower and just, maybe it's the running water. I don't know. It just kind of calms my mind. You know what I mean? And I came out of the shower and I just looked at her and said, book that shit. Cause I'm fucking winning this thing. This is my show. All those things that were thrown in fucking front of me were tests and I handled the fuck out of them. So this is mine. No one's taking it away. And we're going to fucking Tulum for our birthdays. So when it happened, it was kind of like, oh, fuck, told you so. You know what I mean? Like I knew it was going to happen. I'm very, very grateful it did happen. There's a lot of, energy and shit that that I'm not responsible for. My support system, having friends like you guys, having friends like Isaac was saying that reached out, talked to me. All those people, dude, all that energy that's wishing good for somebody, that's the fucking result right there. When energy is real as fuck. You know what I mean? Anybody that says it's not, they're idiots. You know what I mean? I feel bad for them. So I think just from so much positivity being, surrounding me and just me believing in myself and what I'm capable of, remembering who the fuck I am, and staying true to myself, you can accomplish fucking great things, gentlemen. You know that.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Seeing you do that was crazy in more than one way. Not just.
I want to touch on like how much like all that experience, I remember like seeing you change, like almost like your personality kind of changed. Like you went from like angry Mike who you couldn't ask questions to, or you could never like question Mike, to like this more understanding Mike and more calm Mike that we weren't ever used to seeing. And I remember just seeing you change over the course of that year and leading into 2021. You know, I'm just like, man, Mike's a completely different person now. You know, it's a much more calmer, you know, like just rational, more rational Mike than, you know, the irrational sometimes thoughts and craziness that comes about from fucking Pitbull. Like, how did all that change? Like, what do you think? Was it just the event, like the timeline and everything just kind of clicked and you're just like,
yeah.
Right.
No, I just really think I had people in my corner that were close in my corner that they served as a different motivation for me. It wasn't a motivation because they were like, hey, you can do this, you can do this. It was a motivation that I'm like, I'm going to fucking prove you wrong because you don't think I can. You know what I mean? If that's coming from somebody like your significant other or close friends, those are the types of people you don't want in your fucking life no more. Let me tell you. Because then when you start getting people around you that are like, hey, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever you say you're going to do, you do, bro. Well, you know what? Hey, bro. Hey, mom. Hey, best buddy, you know, to the right of me. You're fucking right. I can do this. So then you start believing in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You mix self-belief with a good positive support system around you. Man, bro, as you guys have seen, you've both done amazing things for yourself. You both accomplished great things. This is no New Testament you've seen from me or talked to me, and I haven't told you before. You know what I mean? I think that's really what kind of, you know, opened my eyes to not be closed-minded, if you will. You know, look at things from a different perspective. You know, and not look at things as like a client asking me a question to challenge me. Maybe they're asking so I have a better understanding of why they're doing it. So then basically what you do is you lay a boundary line between that, you and that client. You say, hey, if you're going to ask questions because it's going to influence you and help our relationship, you to execute what I provide for you. Don't ask questions because you went to Google University and you're listening to fucking coaches A through Z that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and you want to question me and challenge me because what I'm telling you to do isn't what you want to hear, and it's harder, so you want to take the easy way out because you want to match your fucking macros or some dumb shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, I think that's a lot of different process of you know, information. I'm taking what people are saying or asking, and I'm processing it a different way. I think that really helped me as a businessman, to be honest. Really did.
Oh yeah. Right. For sure.
Definitely. Yeah, it's that's tough too with clients, because like you said, with all the information that's out there too now, like sometimes you're like you got, there's a certain answer you want to give them. You want to be like, hey, shut the fuck up and just do what I tell you to do. And then you sometimes like you start typing that out, and then you're like, fuck, well, what if he's actually asking like because he wants to know, or you know what I mean? So
like, let's not get it twisted here, guys. Like, we know when a question is for information purposes, and we know when a question is to say, hey, I don't know if I fucking really believe what you say. Why do I got to do this? There's a different fucking tone there. And that tone deserves a fucking crack. You know what I mean? Because listen, I'm not going to go to fucking Dr. Shabane and go, hey, bro, I know you're the fucking leading heart surgeon, but I don't know if I'll trust your method. You should probably try it this way because on Google MD, it told me to do it this way.
Right.
They'll look at you and be like, shut the fuck up. Why did you come to me? Why did you hire me? I'm the professional. You're the fucking student, right? I'm not saying that you can't ask questions as a student, can't learn as a student. As I've shown you guys, I want to see everybody win. I want that information to grow. That's what this is. I didn't reinvent the fucking wheel. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to push my information to people so they can continue to push it. But the shit that's working, not bullshit to make things easier.
Right.
That's kind of interesting that you say that, because I've noticed, I mean, about myself at least, as I'm kind of like, you know, moving up slowly, just working up the ladder of this entire fucking clusterfuck of a business industry, whatever the fuck you want to call it. it's like I'm starting to notice that the more I'm climbing and the more I'm like, I get driven by other people's success in a positive way. Like it's crazy because there's a lot of people that you can see that they get driven by, like, I don't know how to explain it, like somebody's negative, negative things that they're going for. Like, he failed, he fucked up, he didn't win that show, or he fucked that guy up, he didn't peak this guy correctly, or whatever, whatever the hell it is, where it's like
they're reflecting on, they're trying to basically push away the attention away from what they're feeling inside, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're reflecting on what they feel. They have insecurity with themselves. They're not happy with where they're at in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're gonna project on somebody what they're feeling inside. So if they look at you and like they can't imagine ever seeing that success without doing extreme amounts of work, well, then what are they gonna do to make it make sense? They're gonna belittle what you're doing. It's the same. Right. It's the same ideology of some asshole going, "Oh yeah, well he looks like that because he's taking steroids." Come on, bro. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? That's the most uneducational thing you could possibly say. You know damn well you can. I'll pay for your fucking all those steroids, and I'll tell you even what to do. And I promise you, just if you have that fucking mindset, you can never look like that. You can never look. You can never look like this client because your mindset is already so fucking weak that you've already made your mind up. You already played. You played the game already. You lost. So,
it's crazy because I get more excited now for, like, for me, it used to be like everything was about like my shows, my competitions, like that. That's what got me going. But now I get more excited for, like, if any of my friends are competing or clients, but like anybody in my circle, like if they're, I get more fucking excited and nervous for them. Yeah. Like seeing them compete and seeing them, see what they're going to do is like, that gets me more excited than my own competitions now. I'm like, this is great. It's like, when
you guys are competing, dude, like super stuff.
Yeah. It's like all the good things that you get from like the feelings that you get from your own competing, but without the anxiety of competing yourself. Yeah. Like, cause for me, a show is like, I don't know. There's just so many fucking things that go on that day. It's like that that you don't like doing. It's like okay, well, I'm about to find out, like that anxiety that you get, like, oh, you're about to find out if you're actually like good or like, did all my hard work come off in the right way on stage, and all these fucking things where like here, it's like, you don't get that anxiety. You just like get to see that person, do well. And so that's just like what's changed for me a lot is like, I get more excited now to see like all my friends compete than I do myself. It's pretty crazy. I don't know. It's kind of what I noticed about myself as like I get older. I get more excited about that than I do my own actual shows. Right. You guys feel the same way, or is it like for you? It's like still like your show is everything for you.
No, I think it's just the same for me. It's mutual. Like I get excited for both.
I'm excited for both, but I definitely like seeing like having like you guys this year compete at higher shows. Isaac's first time being on a national stage, like that was like my first time on a national stage. I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm just excited for him. You know what I mean? Like,
I was fucking stoked.
Shit on my package when I was on my first time on a national stage. So it was cool to be part of that journey, to see him grow from where he fucking started with me to where he's at on stage. It's just like you look back and you're kind of like, wow, you feel honored to be part of your guys' journeys to the stage, and then to see you get rewarded for what you put in because you're both working as hard as you are. That's the reward to me as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So coaching's definitely it hits a couple more strings in your heart, I think, than actually playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're definitely products of you, and what you've done
for sure.
Both of us, for sure. So
yeah, for sure. There's as far as like the bodybuilding and the mindset and even the coaching and all that. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
That's just the thing. Like the bodybuilding was the template that I used to teach you guys Pitbull mentality, right?
Yeah, it was the base, right?
You took that Pitbull mentality and you applied in bodybuilding, but look at you applied in your fucking life. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You think a certain way, so you live a certain way. That's the way, you know, the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. It's just looking back at it all. It's just
think about how much you've grown.
It's crazy, dude. Like, yeah,
Sam.
For all of us, like I remember all of us. Like I remember when I met you. I remember when I met Isaac. We were just all in such different places in our life than we are now.
Absolutely.
And it has not been that long. Like if you think about it, it's been like what, 6-7 years, whatever.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been that long.
It hasn't been even that long. It's just crazy. It's mind blowing. But you know, either way, let's move on before we fall off the deep end here again.
Well, we got
go ahead.
We got pro debut coming up, right? Yeah. And I gotta say, this is the most focused I've ever seen you in an off season. I've never seen you like pounding fucking food like this.
Yeah.
You know, putting the training together.
Yeah.
Sleep, you know, being that fucking bodybuilder that you're meant to be. You know, I've always seen you like give it your 100%, but I think you've taken it up another level this off season, you know, and I just wanted to talk about like what's been driving you, you know, for that pro debut, and why has your off season been so successful?
Well, like I said, I started to delegate time for bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like a third priority, a fourth priority that I was like, hey, I know I'm, you know, balls deep in this program, or I got to pack orders or drop orders off. It was like, no, I'll pack the orders after I train. You know what I'm saying? This is my time from whatever time to whatever time that I got to get my work done, because bodybuilding's a job for me. You know, you're a pro. You're going to represent that how you should, how you would expect one of your pro clients to represent it. That's what you're going to fucking do. You know what I mean? Right. And it's just, I think that's the biggest difference is I allotted time and regimen, and I told myself that this is the way it's going to be. And, you know, that's just what I've gone through this whole off season. And, you know, of course, I don't want to get on a fucking pro stage and look like an idiot. These dudes ain't fucking playing around. You know what I mean? Like, I know that. And I expect that. So, and a lot of them are friends of mine that I'm going to be up against. You know what I mean? And I absolutely can't wait to compete against them. You know what I mean? And because I see the camaraderie, you know, when everybody's on stage, and some of the guys I've competed against amateur, you know, 2018 North Americans, that whole fucking top five is all pros now, all in the 212 lineup. So I'm super stoked to get back on stage with those guys at some point, hopefully. You know what I mean? So bodybuilding is awesome to see the physical and mental changes, but it's also awesome to, you know, meet new people, have new experience and new friendships, stuff like that. You know, new memories made is what makes this such an addicting sport, I think, too.
Yeah, it seems like this year you have like a chip on your shoulder, you know, because more so than I've ever seen you before. And I wanted to ask you, is there some type of driving force? Because I know you don't really let outside things dictate what you do.
Nah.
You know, you're that type of person, but
you know,
it's just something.
But I just
right. Sorry. Is there something that this time around, like, is there something that's been like, kind of like put that chip a little bit bigger on your shoulder this time to make you really fucking push? Because, you know, like I said, I just noticed a completely different mindset in person this time for training and eating and all that shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys know with me, dude, like I can get puked. That's not a problem. My problem is putting on the weight, dude. I'm a naturally smaller dude. If I didn't fucking, you know, working on gear and I just trained normally to be in shape, I'd kind of look like, you know, a fighter's body. I'm not naturally a big, huge clavicle, huge arm dude. You know, it's just not in my genetics. So, you know, food was everything. Food is fucking everything for me. I don't care. I can take fucking everything under the sun. Only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to be a little bit bigger with all my fucking health markers fucked up. You know what I mean? So food is legit everything. And I'm okay with that, working harder, because at the end it tastes just a little bit sweeter, you know? And of course, any rookie bodybuilder, you know, I think is going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, because you want to go in and you want to, just like you were as a national competitor, you want to make the top five. You know, you want to fucking make that lineup up. And I want people to be like, I respect his work ethic, because he's been able to transfer from an amateur and actually handle business as a pro. You know what I mean? So that's important to me to prove that to myself. You know what I mean? Or prove that to myself is what I meant to say.
Right. Right.
Because not that I have doubts, but I want to be like, hey, you know, here's the same thing when I was in baseball. I just wanted the chance to show myself and show others that I could hang in pro ball, right? Well, now I have my chance to hang in pro ball or pro bodybuilding, so I'm gonna make the most of it. You know, I'm gonna be a professional.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So pro debut, what's the date? What show are we doing? What are we talking?
Dude, if I could compete like next weekend, I would. I'm so anxious. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
I bet.
I want to do something early. Chicago Pro, as you know, it's fucking hasn't been in Chicago for 2 years. So I obviously definitely want to do that. My family hasn't seen me compete in years. Probably the last time was probably like 2013 or something. So I want to do the Chicago Pro, but I might jump into something earlier. You know, I might do Indy Pro. I believe that's like the first one on the schedule. It's only about an hour from my house, maybe. So it's convenient, and it's right over the border. So I might do that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're gonna, you know, take December to kind of clean out and you know, get you know, things rolling again, probably like mid-January. And then just kind of see where my my shape takes me and see what we're looking like when we get closer to actual buckle down time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real quick, so you know, now that, because I know before bodybuilding goal is obviously before anybody turns pro is to turn pro, right? So what's kind of like your next stepping stone in bodybuilding? You know, is it to win a pro show? Is it to qualify for the Olympia, or is it? Do you have anything in mind now, or are you just kind of like, you know, you're like, let's see where this takes me?
For me, I definitely want to do a pro show. I want to see where I can hang. You know, I want to see what I can do. And if I go up there and I'm able to do well with these guys and, you know, place, you know, in a respective fashion, you know, then we'll see. You know, then it might change. Hey, I want to win. I want to win a show. I want to try to get to the Olympia stage. But essentially, my number one goal, man, is to use bodybuilding as a platform. You know what I mean? Help others who want to get into the sport. Because if you go pro in bodybuilding and you make a career out of bodybuilding, you're an elite. Okay.
You are
like Nick Walker, just won 140 grand. God bless his soul. You know what I mean? He's a young kid. He's super potential. But you know what? Nick doesn't fucking miss a beat. Nick doesn't miss a meeting. He doesn't miss a fucking workout. That dude is a fucking machine. That's what it takes to be the best in the world. And I believe someday, very soon, he's going to get there. He's already one of the best in the world. And he manifested that. He told everybody he's going to be the Arnold. And he did it.
Yeah, he did.
That energy. I fuck with that energy, Nick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think for me, I'm not sitting there saying I'm going to be Mr. Olympia. You know what I mean? Am I going to be able to stand next to these fucking dudes in the 212 class like, you know, Derek Lunsford and, you know, Sean? I'm not saying I can't stand with them in time, but I don't know if that's my desire. You know what I'm saying? I want to, first and foremost, build my business, have a successful life, and live life on my terms. You know, I got a, like you said, I got the, you know, PT business, the online training, you know, coaching business all in one. And then I got the CBD brand, you know, and CBD is huge right now. You know, this business is really starting to take off. It's been open 2 years and it's consumed a lot of my time and I'm okay with it because I'm passionate about it. You know what I mean? It falls in line with things I love, dogs, you know what I'm saying? Healthy humans, you know, and so it works. So I think that's
fashion,
right. Fashion, you know, things I enjoy and things I don't have to apply effort to love those things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And that's fucking huge. I mean, that's such a big part of like being successful is being able to live, like you said, live life on your own terms, but also do something on a daily basis that you don't fucking dread getting out of bed. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. I can't imagine living my life like that. I really can't.
It's you know, it's one of those things that's so underestimated. People look for, you know, they want to make tons of money, they want to, you know, have this, have that, have all these, you know, physical possessions, which are great because, you know, do they bring happiness? Maybe a little bit, you know. you know, having the things that you like and having nice things, or, you know, could bring you happiness if that's what you look for. But having something that's like, you wake up in the morning and you're not fucking dreading, you know, getting dressed, getting your ass in your car and going to work. It's fucking huge, man. It's huge.
Yeah.
Is that because, like, me personally, I'm not fully there yet. Like, but that's the thing that, like, that's my pinnacle. Yeah, is like being like, I'm getting up in the morning and it's like I'm content and happy with what I have to do today. Like, with every single thing that I have to do today, I am content and happy with and look forward to it. So, you know, speaking of that, you mentioned that you have your, you know, your not new, but fairly new business.
Yeah.
Tell us about Enspire, man. Tell us how that came along and what's it consist of. And
all right, so you know, Enspire Brand came about 2 years ago. September 21st was the birthday, second birthday for us for the company. If you guys don't know, it's a CBD clothing brand. I have CBD that can be ingested by dogs, humans, pets, all the above. And my CBD influence, I guess you could say, came, actually, it wasn't even supposed to be a different company. I still have the graphics for it. It was going to be Fit Pit Recovery. Had a little Pitbull with like an MD on his head. It was cool. It was cool. But after speaking with a lawyer that I obviously have represent me, he said that it wasn't a good idea, obviously, to merge the two businesses. If one were to happen, which way or the other, it would crash, obviously. So at that time, I elected to save up a little bit more through, and then, you know, that way I had some bread to throw at the business when I was really ready to do it and create a whole new one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, maybe 6 months to 9 months later, I felt like it was a good time to start that. Jumped on the fucking computer and came up with basically Enspire Brand, you know, and I don't know, I come up with these ideas out of nowhere. You know, I puff a little bit and fucking ideas
a little bit.
Start fucking,
right.
fucking ideas start coming, you know?
Bing.
You know, and then bing, bing, and then ching, ching, and then those sounds get me, you know? So I decided to do Enspire Brands, Enspire Brand LLC, you know, it's entrepreneurs driven to inspire. So essentially it's another platform, if you will, to influence people like yourselves, other people who have just a passion, and influence them to chase the dream. You know what I mean? If you have an idea, it's a good fucking idea. You know, you're the only one that's got to think that, and then you got to prove that to everybody else. So, I mean, that's how what everything is. And that's what everything starts as, is the fucking idea. It's the execution, you know what I mean? The consistency, the effort, you know, the desire and drive that you put behind it that makes it into a valid product, you know what I mean? Or a line or a brand, whatever. So, you know, it was originally going to be Fit Pit Recovery, and I started it because my dog, Romeo, as you guys know, he's like an IG legend, I think, at this point in his life. He had like a cranial tear, so it's like a CCL, which is the ACL for a dog. He had a tear in it, and they wanted to do surgery. Well, he was 10 at the time, and I want to avoid surgery at all costs. So I was like, you know, I started reading up on CBD. I'm a super like nerd when it comes to shit that I want to know about. Like, I've never read a full book in my life, but I know dumb shit about all kinds of dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just one of those, been like that since a kid. I just would drop knowledge, and my mom would be like, "What? Why do you know that?" I don't know. It just interests me. I'm going to learn it, you know? So dug deep into the CBD, started to understand CB2 and, you know, CB1 receptors and how it influences your body and this, that, and the other. And I started getting into studies about how it's even more effective for a dog because their endocannabinoid system, which we all have, is 7 times stronger. You know, their senses 7 times stronger. So essentially, CBD is more influential for a dog than it is for a human. Both very, very good for you, but the best benefit, most influential benefit for a canine, which is news for everybody because a lot of people don't know that.
I honestly,
didn't.
You just blew my mind because I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you know.
So, you know, you got Bowser and stuff like that on this. Yeah, you know, you see the effects that it has on his leg too.
Yeah.
With Romeo, 6 weeks later, dude, still to this day, a year, 2 years later, no surgery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been good. And I got videos. You guys have seen it. He can't even put his leg down on the ground, put weight on it.
Yeah.
6 weeks later, he's jumping in on a spring pole, and he's a fucking 10 and a half. Now he's 11 and a half year old dog. He's in awesome shape, but his body obviously is going to break down. We all oxidate, you know, and we all die off. But what I did is I put C60, which is carbon 60, into my CBD, which differentiates from anyone else in the world. I am the only company that I have found with C60, carbon 60, mixed with CBD. So what that carbon 60 does, essentially, in a long story short, is it starts to repair those oxidation cells that are dying off. It prevents them from dying off at a radical pace that you normally would. It slows that process down, essentially giving longevity to the mammal itself. A study was done, you know, the scientific evidence to prove it. Stuff's mind-blowing. It's an amazing antioxidant, and it's a huge selling point for my business, for the CBD. So it started off as an idea to help my dog, and then I started to realize that this shit works. It helps me. It helps my clients. It helps tons of other people, little babies, little kids. And then it was kind of like, damn, maybe I wasn't just here to be a bodybuilder. Maybe I wasn't just here to help people lose weight. Maybe I was here to find the CBD and help people's dogs. Give my girlfriend's dog 8 more months onto her life because she was taking the C60 when a doctor gave her 8 days. So, you know, shit like that is what really gets my gears going. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an emotional dude, man, you know, in the sense that I control my emotions, but I'm very emotional and passionate about my endeavors. You know, no matter what it is, I'm going to be giving you everything I got. You know what I mean? I'm going to come in with intensity. I'm coming with passion. And that's kind of how I've attacked CBD in this business with Enspire Brand. And it's doing really well, man. It's growing extremely organically, which is a very good compliment to the product itself. And then obviously to myself, because I invest a lot of time into this, you know, and it's awesome to see people using it and really benefiting from it, seeing like, holy shit, this is legit. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy because you've been able to utilize the platform that you build through bodybuilding and coaching to launch to give yourself, you know, a head start on the promotional aspect of Enspire Brand. You had this tool that you were able to put that product in front of, you know, tons of people right off the bat, which I'm sure has helped you tremendously. So it's crazy how you can see somebody evolve from, you know, you think that, you know, I'm sure at one point you thought that your coaching business is going to be the end all be all. This is what's going to be, you know, my passion, my main source of income for, you know, years to come. And then all of a sudden this new idea comes out of nowhere. And all of a sudden we're like, fuck, now I got to jump ship almost into this for a little bit, 'cause I got to build this thing to take off. So it's been cool to kind of see Enspire grow into what it's grown into. What do you think, you know, is where do you see Enspire Brand going from there? Like, what do you think its main driving force? Because, you know, I know at first you know, the clothing was a big part of it. And have you kind of put the clothing on the back burner and you're kind of more passionate into going into the CBD, or are both those still going to be the driving force?
Well, with intention from the beginning, CBD was always going to be the forefront. Okay. What the clothing was primarily, it's a marketing tool. You know what I mean? So when you start off a business, and I've had other clothing lines in the past, that I had, another rep. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was the first clothing gig that I started with a friend of mine. And, you know, we did okay. I didn't have the following I have now. And neither did he. But we did all right. You know, it was nice, good material stuff. But it just, more than anything, it taught me how to do things, what not to do, what works, what doesn't, you know, what rabbit hole to climb into and what not. You know what I'm saying? So from the get-go, I knew that clothing was going to, it's self-marketing. You know, you sell the clothing, you make some money off of it, but boom, it's on somebody's chest. You know what I mean? And like, hey, what's that? Oh, they go to the website, they see the CBD. And in the background, the schematics of it, it's really impressive to see how much clothing and hats and shakers and shit like that somebody goes to buy, boom, they buy CBD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's in their cart. They're looking at it. It spikes their interest. So that was kind of like a selling point and a marketing scheme, I guess you could say, if you want, to kind of push the CBD. Because if you remember, I had the clothing and I had like the accessory stuff for about 2 or 3 months before the CBD came.
Before the CBD, yeah.
Manufacturing. But I'm dropping lots of money. I wanted to make sure that shit was selling, in the ground, hit the ground running. So that's really why I pushed the clothing really hard in the beginning. And now, it's still a focus. But now it's still, I still need to get the clothing that I have out and then slowly introduce new things, kind of decide what to keep, what not to keep as like my for sure, these are going to be around all the times type of
kind of like your staples. Yeah.
Right. And same thing with the CBD brand itself, introducing new things. Like I never had anything with THC content in it at all. Then, Delta 8 came along, and it's legal. So I threw that into the mix and it's done awesome for the brand. People love the Delta 8 products. I got the Delta 8 gummies now, and then I got the pre-rolls, which I like a lot. I like gummies; they're cool. But I like to smoke my medicine versus ingest it. It's just personal preference, but everybody's different. That's why.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Is there any new products you got in the back burner that you want to share, or that's not out yet, but what you're working on?
Yeah. As you guys know, I got the tinctures, the roll-ons. I just dropped that 2,000 milligram roll-on. It's a custom blend. Not too many companies have that high end stuff. It's really effective. So that just dropped. And then if you remember back a little while, I had the Rejuvenate cream. Recently sold for that. I can't keep that in stock long enough. It just runs out so quick. The people I had doing it, that manufacturing company, is smaller hand. It's a smaller business. They're not tacked to do, high MOQ. So I had to switch manufacturers, but in the process of that, it's expensive because it's a custom formulation with a C60 in it, a couple of different things that I've added into it to make it a superior product and different from everybody else. Takes a lot of time and takes a lot of money. One SKU might cost 20 grand. So you want to make sure that it's 100% right. Everything's, all the ducks are in a row. You know what I mean? So when I go to launch that and bring that back on the brand, it's going to continue to track revenue. So that's coming back, which I'm super stoked about. It's such an awesome fucking product, especially if you're, in your 30s, getting closer to 40, starting to notice, some of that elasticity in your skin. You guys care about what you look like. You're in a professional world, in an industry where, let's face it, good-looking people, sex, that shit's going to sell. Sex appeal, I should say, not sex. But just taking care of yourself.
Porn sells too, bro.
Yeah, exactly. We don't touch upon that, but, it is what it is. That's just the way it works. You know what I mean? So taking care of yourself, stuff like that. And that's why this line kind of goes hand in hand with bodybuilding. Not that everyone in fucking bodybuilding or any of us are fucking supermodels, but we all care about what we look like and our longevity of that look that we have. And then obviously, who the fuck wants to train in pain? So that's why there's lots of, remedies for pain maintenance and, prevention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Those roll-on creams really work well. I mean,
you haven't tried the new one yet. I have to get you one out. But.
No, I haven't tried the new one yet. But every leg day, I mean, I said, every leg day like ritual before we get going, it's like roll on 17 layers of fucking CBD cream.
This is the roll on. I went with the black bottle, which I thought was pretty dope because it
looks sharp.
Sharp. It's got the maximum strength. So it kind of gives a tougher look, I think, a little bit. So I like the way those came out, and it's like your baby, you see it grow a little bit more and get excited by it because other people think it's cute too,
Right. Just for the people that are listening that want to know more about the business side of things, did you, getting into the CBD game, because obviously it's a huge market now. obviously you got to formulate some kind of product that's different than everybody else, and you got to find your, you know, marketing niche or something that makes you a little bit different than everybody else. Just because otherwise, I feel like you're just gonna drown out in the background noise because there's so much of it.
Right.
And you know, you did that very successfully. You know, what do you think that was that put your CBD over, you know, all the other ones? I know you mentioned the C60, but what else do you think that is that people took onto it? Obviously it works, but was it just the quality that you put together? You know, you weren't worried necessarily about, because a lot of people, you know, a lot of actually feel like people that are new going into a certain business, they don't have a lot of money, they don't have a lot of overhead, so they're more worried about what is it going to cost them to start it rather than just, you know, putting out a quality product right away.
Yeah, so obviously let's be honest, nobody knows the quality before they fucking buy it, right? What they're trusting is the validity that you present. So my people, if you will, are going to buy it, right? Based off of the trust they have in me, okay? And then the product picks up the slack when it's legit and they start to see it. And then what does that do? It gives validity to the product, gives validity back to me because I'm the originator who said it worked. And then they start spreading it like wildfire out of their mouth. And then boom, magical things fucking happen. You know what I mean? You get people behind it that are looked up to. Nick Walker, you know, I'm talking about him again. He's just really blown up onto the scene lately, and I'm really proud of him because you know, I've seen him going through, you know, the ranks. I mean, shit. Yeah. Before he fucking ate himself, he was like around the same size I was. You know what I mean? In like 2017, and you know, the kid just blew up. But people like him, the validity that athletes of that stature, of that you know, level, give validity to the product. You know, I have Alyssa Kiesling, and she's a amazing fucking poser. She's going to the Olympia this year on a rookie fucking year. She goes in, walks into the New York Pro, fucking slays everybody, and now she's going to the Olympia. You know, Nathan Epler, great friend of mine. He's taking it. He sees him and his wife see the progress that they've made in recovery. You know, and the validity of the product. So I think just a good group of people, you know, you guys, my other clients that people look up to. It's just so many people. You start to see so many pieces come together, and you're like, okay, well, I guess this shit is legit. Let me try. You know what I mean? It's no different than everybody trying fucking Heinz ketchup over Walmart to Aldi and realizing that you can't fucking make it. So, you know what I mean?
When you're starting a brand, you pretty much have to prepare yourself for, you know, giving away a lot of free product at one point, right? You know?
Yeah, you know what? You got to be sparing though, like, because I've learned that lesson too. You got to figure out who's going to just be a taker and who's going to be, you know, a producer and a giver. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you throw somebody product, all right, and you know, they don't post it, or their post is very like nonchalant, well, then you fucking know that you probably ain't going to give no more product to that person. You know what I mean? And you're going to strike out there. It's going to happen. Trust me. It happened many times. But the best thing to do is to just get a little bit more selective in your, you know, when you're picking people who you want to represent your brand. Make sure that they're a good fit, not just because they're a good look, but take a look at how they represent other things. How do they represent the companies that they're doing now? Are they doing it nonchalantly, or do you constantly see them promoting it? You know what I mean? Like, people say it to me all the time, dude, I thought Condemn was your business. You're always promoting it. I'm like, no, dude, it's just a business that takes care of me. So what am I doing? I'm reciprocating the fucking favor. That's what makes the world go around. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't being reciprocated, there's not going to be any incentive on either fucking half. So you have to make sure that there's incentive, and you know that the people that are receiving your products have maybe not the same passion you have because it's yours, but believe in it, use it, and you know, have enough validity themselves to sway other people to try it.
Most definitely. Yeah. It's
we're getting close to the end here, but like you said, Condemned, and I wanted to, you know, we're all Condemned Labs athletes, and I just kind of like to get the people on and you know, like yourself, and ask like, okay, you know, what's your favorite product about Condemned? you know, what do you like the most?
Product?
You know, because I think people want to, yeah, the products from Condemn, because I think people like to hear this shit too. You know, we use it on a regular basis.
I love, hands down, you know, DNA Dispatch and Humulin are definitely my plugs. I love those products. I'm not like Convict's great, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not always taking pre-workout. You know what I mean? I take it when I need it. I'm sparingly.
Right.
But you know, something I use every single day throughout every single, you know, day of the year, regardless of season, is the DNA Dispatch and the Humulin. And what I love about those products, other products on the line, you know, you can tell somebody takes one, you know what I mean? Because you take it, you're sponsored by it.
Yeah.
And they might buy it once, but they're not going to buy it again if it's shit. So what I love about fucking Condemned is you tell them to buy it, they continue to buy it because the shit's good. So you feel proud representing the product. You know, same thing with like Enspire Brand. I want people to feel proud to represent it. I want them to send it to other people, and other people go, this shit's good. You know, how many times you guys send something up, people are like, dude, Arson's the best fucking fat burner I ever take. It's like, you take pride in that. You're like, hell yeah. You know, like that's shit. You know what I mean? And you want that to continue to evolve. You know what I mean? So you just keep pushing the fucking brand, keep giving it validity, you know, and more catch on like wildfire.
That's what like essentially got me like into Condemned, because I remember, I don't know, I was taking like not to like knock their names, but like Pride Nutrition, right? That's what it used to be a part of.
Yeah, Pride, and, great guys, great company. You know what I mean?
Good people.
Absolutely.
And I remember you got on the Condemned, and I saw the Arson, and you were like, "You got to try this shit." I'm like, "All right, cool." I tried it, and like I was hooked, man. I was like, "This shit is the best fucking fat burger I've ever used," you know?
Yeah.
And that's essentially what kind of led me to like finally say, you know what? I just need to be part of Condemned. Like, I believe in their products. I've been using it for, you know, since 2018 or whatever it was. And
shit sells itself.
Because your guys' influence, both of you, you know? So that's good shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much sells itself. Good product will sell itself. Anywho, before we get out of here, I got a question for you. Top 6 at the Olympia, go.
Oh shit. Fuck.
Open and 212.
Bonik is going to be there, by the way. It's kind of confirmed. So
it is confirmed. Okay, good. I was going to ask about some of the variables. All right, so I don't even know if I can do this. Let's see. I got Hottie 1 for sure. I got Hottie, and dude, I don't know why I got this fucking. I'm a Nick Walker fan, bro. I think he's gonna come there. I think he's gonna exude fucking energy. And I got Nick top 2. I think. I got who else has been hot this year? I got Ian. Ian's got to be in the top. He's got to be in the top 5. You gotta give me placings, bro. Fuck, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, you got Rami.
Fucking Rami. What am I talking about? See, Rami. That's who I got winning. I'm sorry.
Right.
I got Rami winning, and I'm based on one thing. I wasn't sure how he was gonna improve, or if he was. Then I saw his fucking face, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one."
Fucking peel. I think Rami's gonna be a problem. So I got Rami.
Okay,
let's go. Rami, Hottie, Nick.
Bonak, Curry.
Fuck, who we got in there? Fuck Ian or Hunter. I don't know. Hunter's in there.
You got to pick one, man.
Let's go with fucking Ian.
Ian?
Yeah, let's go with Ian. We'll go Hunter 6th.
There you go.
Improvement, because I think he placed like 8th last year. You know what it is? I'm a condition guy. So I love Hunter's body. I think it's fucking great.
Yeah.
But I love Ian's condition. But I'm not like a fan of Ian's shape structure, right? Exactly. But then again, it's like I don't have the best structure, so do I kind of want him to win? I don't know, but I'm friends with Hunter, so you know what I mean? I don't know. It's tough, but it's gonna be a fucking super dope Olympia, and I'm gonna be there. So I'm excited to see it in person. 212. I'm not even trying to get into that because my brain will fry, but that's gonna be dope as fuck. There's a lot of younger dudes coming up who I've been competing with that are in it. You know, I've seen them compete.
So with 212, let me not fuck your brain too much, but give me a top 3.
All right, let's go. Fucking Derek, dude. He looks crazy. He's with the fucking new coach. I think I like the energy he's bringing. He was supposed to win this fucking class years ago.
He was.
And I've watched this kid do amazing fucking things. Like, he's the craziest coming up story in bodybuilding, like in physical fucking stature is just insane. So I got Derek. I gotta put respect on Sean's name as 2. And I'm gonna go with fucking Nathan Epler in the top 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There we go.
I like him there. You know why? If you take Nate's picks and you put him up to next to somebody else, right? Or even maybe just look at him like yourself. You're like, okay, he's peeled. He's got a couple holes. His back's not as big as it needs to be. You know, I don't know. But then you put that motherfucker on stage. And then you start posing next to people. And he just gets even bigger and rounder and things start popping out more and more. And I've seen him compete 2 or 3 times in person now. And every time he fucking surprises the fuck out of me. So off the top of my head, without looking at people written down on a piece of paper, that's what I'm going to go with. And I'm pretty sure he's beaten a significant amount of people in that lineup already from doing his pro shows, right? Because then you got Antonio, which is a fucking freak of nature. I just don't know if his conditioning is going to be there. He's super round and super big. He's a fucking freak. But personally, I think Nathan's body flows a little bit better. And it was neck and neck with them. Once or twice.
Keon and George the Bull.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, but you know what?
What about Keon, motherfuckers? That dude is a cartoon character.
Yeah, you know what, dude? It's too tough. Put it this way.
It's going to be exciting.
If Keon comes in shape, he's going to be a fucking problem in any lineup. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
But can Keon be beat? Absolutely. Because shape only takes you so far. And at the Olympia, bro, I hate to break it to you, but most of the people are going to have awesome shape too. So, you know what I'm saying? Does shape get better than his? Probably not, but condition 100% can be beaten. It's going to be a tough 212 class, bro. I'm very excited to see that class. George, I think he's kind of like, nothing against him, he's kind of like an in-betweener, man. You know, I think like he's in between open and 212. You know, definitely not in fucking classic, but he's almost 212 for the 212 class, and I think that's kind of what hurts him. And I think he has a problem making the weight because he's always got kind of like this like film of water on him. I don't know if you guys probably seen that last year, but dude, his back, his freaky shots and chest, arm stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. I think he was 4th, if I can remember. Like,
it might work for like now. Nathan Epler is about the same height. You got these little taller guys now in this 212 class, you know. So
Nathan is a little good taller. For him. I didn't realize because he was just actually at my house not too long ago. I stopped by and he's actually tall. He's a little taller than me, I think, maybe. So, and I'm not short in that class anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, dude, I don't know what it is, man. When you put Nathan up on stage, he holds his poses and he's got deep cuts and he's got freaky fucking lines and I don't know, man. He's got fucking a lot of energy, dude. And I told you, energy's real, man. He's gonna exude that shit. So I hope he gets in there, man. That'd be cool. You know, you got John Jewett. He's fucking peeled fucking 363 days out of the year and shit. You know what I mean? So fucking anatomy chart. You know, I don't know. I don't know about the 212. You fried my fucking brain.
You going? You're going to Olympia?
Yes, Marcel, I'm going to Olympia. See, I'm stressed out. I didn't even do anything yet.
Oh man, anywho,
Mike needs to go eat. He needs to go eat a meal and train.
Yeah, he needs to go eat a meal and train. We kept you on for a little longer. Listen, bro. Hey, listen, bro. We appreciate you coming on, giving us a few hours of your busy ass schedule. I know you're busy. We kind of kept you on longer than we should have, but you know, we covered some good stuff. So yeah, we appreciate you being honest, sharing your story. It's going to motivate the fuck out of a lot of people. That's for sure. It's motivated me. I know it's motivated Isaac, and definitely thankful for your time and you know, letting us shoot the shit with you. Go ahead and plug your Instagram, plug your business, plug whatever the fuck you want to plug before you get off. So where can we find you? Where can we find your business?
Well, you guys heard me babble enough. I'm Swollen Pitbull on Instagram. You guys can check me out at fitpitfitness.com if you're looking for the aspect of training, competition prep, lifestyle. I have tons of lifestyle clients. I have competitions going on, you know, 2 or 3 a year for regular lifestyle clients, rewards. I have them going on lean into fall. So pay attention to those if you're interested in that. If you're interested in the CBD, I have inspirebrand.com. You guys have any questions, you can email me at either at support at inspirebrand.com or Mike at fitpitfitness.com. So any questions at all, hit me up, guys. I am here to help. I appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay,
Cool.
Thanks for
Isaac, hit him with the magic 4, and we'll get out of here.
Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share.
All right, guys, that's it for our 4th episode. We'll be tuning in soon. Peace.
Later, boys.
All right, man. Yeah. Talk to you later, dude.